next for the stock markets. This is Charlie giving you. No, it's not Friday. This is Charlie giving you Wednesday's video. I hope you're very well. A timely, maybe a timely video. We're just looking at the S&P, and I was looking to do a video on the S&P today because the S&P. I've got the futures up here at the moment. I can go to the cash market as well. But as you can see, as you can see, my yellow moving average here is my 200-day moving average, which is traditionally another major tool used by investors for knowing whether the market is in an uptrend or a downtrend. And we know that we've been in a very swift bear market, the S&P falling as much as it did, but we've also very swiftly come back up. But interestingly, so far as I'm recording this, a bit late on Wednesday, I've been busy today. We've got up to the 200 days moving average, and it's stalled here. So let's just note that for now. But that's the 200-day on the, obviously on the daily chart. On the weekly chart, it's the weekly 50, as we can see, my black line here. So at the moment, we're having a reaction to these key levels that traders and investors all around the world will look at. So at the moment, I'd say that it's probably just a bit of profit taking going on. I'm not looking at any of the news, but there certainly could be an element of profit taking. We can go to the Nasdaq as well. If I take you to the Nasdaq futures here, go there. There we go. Now the Nasdaq had got so much further, but there's something I want to show you here with the Nasdaq, which I think is interesting, and we've seen a similar sort of pattern. It's not quite the same with the S&P, but anyway, where the Nasdaq makes what I call marginal new highs. Marginal new highs. So it's having a nice run, a really nice run over the last 6 weeks or so, but marginal new highs. So every time the Nasdaq makes a high, then it pulls back the first time, then it just breaches through that prior high, and then sort of immediately pulls back. Same again, just gets through that, immediately pulls back, just gets that through that, and it's repeating that same pattern again. So for me, looking at this at the moment, now considering how close the Nasdaq's got to its prior highs, I suspect we're going to go and get to those highs, those February highs, at some point this year. But we've all sort of been waiting to see if we're going to get at least some sort of retracement, and that could be now could be a retracement, maybe a retracement back to the 50-day moving average would be perfectly normal. Looking at the price action that's gone on here, technically, and if we go back to the S&P, similar sort of thing with the S&P. It's not obviously as aggressive a move, but we just about breached those highs. But the S&P was slightly different in that it was there was this prior sort of trading range, if I can draw it on. There we go. So we had this prior trading, and we've popped our head out. I thought late last week maybe it was going to just come straight back in. Well, it did initially, and anyway, it held and it's come up and it's got up to that daily 200. Now, what's interesting here is I just read that there's been an extreme number of call options being bought by retail traders. So we've had a huge number. I can't remember what the numbers are now off the top of my head. Now I'm doing this recording, but speculative retail traders have used more than 45% of total volume has been buying call options, and so speculative call options as well. So they've been buying calls on the expectation that the markets would carry on going higher. Now, usually when you get these sort of extremes, the market actually, funnily enough, will go and do the opposite at some point. So it'll pull back for a while. So we have been seeing that amongst retail traders and investors. So they've been buying a huge amount of call options. So normally that would mean that the market over the coming weeks, because it doesn't happen straight away, but over the coming weeks would normally produce negative returns over those weeks. Now, don't get me wrong, that's just negative returns over those weeks. That doesn't mean to say that the stock markets are going to roll all the way back down to new lows. But certainly it's a negative. But having said that, we've also got a lot of the retail community holding quite large futures short positions. So we're actually in a position where we've got quite large short positions in the futures, but we've also got quite large call options positions with options traders. So that doesn't often happen. I just got this information from Jason Gefford, who does a lot of sentiment work, and it looks like the last two times it happened was in 2017, and the market just shrugged it off when you had high number of call options being bought and a high number of shorts. The market obviously went higher. Prior to that, it was 2007, and we all know what happened after in 2007. That the market went lower. I'm not predicting big moves like that, but and normally when there are a high number of call buyers in the retail trading community, normally it means that there is weakness over the coming weeks or month or so. So I would rather see that right now. I think it'd be healthy for the market to have a technical pullback. So and it just so happens that I'm recording this just as the S&P's sitting right against its daily daily 200 here. So we'll see how that closes tonight, whether it does close negative or whatever, and if the S&P does roll over at this point, or whether it just shrugs off this daily 200, has just a reaction for the today and then blasts back through it tomorrow. We shall see. But I just wanted to paint the picture for you there from a sentiment perspective that actually there's this tug of war between what retail traders and investors are doing, and so it'll be interesting to see how this resolves itself. But certainly at the moment, watch out. Technically, when I'm looking at that Nasdaq, we've got those marginal new highs up there on the Nasdaq, so it wouldn't surprise me to see more of a pullback there on the Nasdaq. Again, it's had an amazing run, and who knows, maybe we get some sort of follow-through pullback with the S&P and the likes as well. We shall see. I thought I'd just give you the food for thought for today rather than doing any mindset video. There you go. Bit of a general observation video. Take care for now. I'll see you at the weekend. Take care.